Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Santa's Workshop. And I want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you for getting me past that 27,000 mark. And it is still climbing. Guys, keep it up. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now then, today's video. You saw me on Tech Tuesday yesterday showing you how to prep a surface. Well, surface is prepped. I want to get to sanding. And first thing I'm going to do is hit that with 80 grit. And this is going to give me a chance to really push this right here. Benchmark Abrasives. That banner you've been seeing up there in the background for quite a while sent me this well over a year ago. And I've mentioned them several times. And I want to tell you something. This, I'm not going to say the company, but it's a number and a letter, matches their quality. I love it, and it's cheaper than what Harbor Freight is. And it's a big roll, and I tell you what, I can't express enough how good a quality that stuff is. Guys, check them out. Benchmark Abrasives. I'll try and put a link in the description below. But first thing we got to do is we got to cover all this because I don't want dust everywhere on it. And especially, you know, on the inside, since I got that kill mat all in there, I don't want to have to go back in and clean it again. So what I want to do is we got this plastic sheeting from 3M. I got this in a bundle deal. Somebody was shutting out a body shop, and I got a bunch of primer, clear coat, paint cups that I hadn't been able to use yet. But they had this in there, and I've never used it. I always thought it was too thin, wouldn't work. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. It is unbelievably phenomenal. So what we're going to do is I'm, of course, going to set you up on a time lapse. And I'm going to spool out what I need of this. We're going to take it over the motor, through the interior, and out the back window. And you're looking at this, I know, and saying, hold it here. That's not wide enough to go all the way across that car. Believe me, it is. It's wide enough to go over the roof and drape down to the floor on either side. And during the time lapse, you'll see me unfold that. I mean, it is folded up in several layers. You can see it right there. See, it's even double right there. But we're going to get that done. Then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about what I expect to find in this. I'm hoping not to find any more Bondo, but we'll see. All right. Well, you can see the fan moving the plastic over there, but it's not billowing up. So that means there's no air getting underneath it. And all I want to do is minimize the dust and everything that's going to get on everything that I've already finished. Now, that being said, there's still going to be dust on it. I guarantee it. Just sitting in the shop. I mean, you can look over there at Randy's car, and it's got a layer of dust on it just from sitting in here. But unless you have just a dedicated dust-free area, and yes, they do make them, you're not going to keep from getting dust on it. So what we're going to do now, I want to set you up on time lapse again, and we're going to get to sanding. Now, as you can see, this paint, it just flakes off. I'm hoping it's going to sand down easy. I don't want to get any more radical than 80 grit, because 80 grit, you're going to leave sand scratches, you know, but 80 grit's, you know, a good base for a primer. So we're going to get all this sanded down and see where we're at. And no, I'm not going to be using a dust mask, and there's two reasons for that. With my asthma, I cannot breathe through that dust mask. You want to talk about breathing heavy, I would be breathing extremely, extremely heavy. I've got the fan blowing on me. You can see it right down there. It's blowing up over this to blow the dust away. So if it gets too dusty, I'll just change position. And I know that a lot of y'all are going to say, oh, that's not right, you shouldn't do that. No, I shouldn't, but that's what I have to do to be able to do this. So we're going to get you set up, and we're going to get to sanding. Okay, let's take a little closer look at what we've got here. And I went ahead and sanded down here. This is factory paint. You can see they painted the whole thing the dark brown. Then they come back, taped it off, and sprayed the two-tone. The gray and the black, factory primer. Now you get up here, black and the gray, factory primer, the original color, then another primer, and I think this is a glaze coat that they just sprayed. I know there's a sprayable glaze coat and a spreadable, and it almost looks like they sprayed this over the whole car, because you remember that door we looked at had the same thing on it. And right here where I went through, you can feel the thickness of it. So, and this clear coat that they put on this is one hard stuff to get through. Once I get through that clear coat, everything else just peels off right off of this. So this is going to take a while. And I may not get it all in this video, because I don't think you want to sit there and watch me sand. And that's all I do is sand. It's kind of like watching paint dry. And it's in the mid-70s this morning, but the humidity is through the roof. I am literally dripping sweat off of my arms. But I want to sand a little bit more, and if I come across anything, I'll crank it back up and show you what I find. Let's take a look at what we got so far. We're about halfway through. That right there is water dripping from the air hose. But I want to show you this. That area right there, that is coming from contaminants that was in the metal. All of that right there. So I won't have to take all of this off. And that's going to be fun. I've got about half of it done. It's taken me a little while, but I want to show you this. This is the two pieces of sandpaper that I've taken off. Still a lot of life left in them. It's just a fresh one cuts so much better. And I've been going with this one for about 15-20 minutes, and I want you to look at that. Looks like I hadn't even done nothing with it. And I promise you, I have not just put that on. I probably put that on when I was right about here. So you can see how much it did. But I showed you my fan blowing up and over this way, and I want to show you the difference. I want you to look back here. There's a little bit of dust, but not much. And you get over here, and it is absolutely covered. That's why when I'm sanding with my arm out here, letting that fan blow this dust away from me. Yeah, I have breathed a little bit of it, but I've been breathing it for years. And if you can, wear a mask. I'm not saying don't do it. It's just, when I'm working, I can't. I just literally cannot breathe with a mask on. During COVID, I hardly ever wore one because I just flat out couldn't. And I've never had COVID. And I've been Santa Claus during COVID, and I never caught it. Or if I did, it was such a mild case I never knew it. But anyways, we're going to get on that other half, get it sanded, see if any surprises show up over there. This is the side I was most worried about, because I was getting rust coming up through my where I put my primer. But I want you to look at this. You see all the pits? That's textured. That is this coat, whatever this is, coming off. And as you can see, in the center, I showed you, it had already come off. And I want you to look at the rust indicators that was in there. I'm going to have to strip this whole roof and get me some rust preventative and go over it. But I've got to check and see what exactly is available nowadays. Back in my day, we had a gallon bottle, looked like windshield washer fluid, smelled like alcohol. You rub down the area with that, let it dry, prime it, you're good to go. How good it was, I don't know. But I know it's no longer available because I looked. But there is something else I want to show you, and I want to see if I can get it on the camera. I want to try and get it. I can't tell on the screen, but you can see right in here that light reflecting off of something, a layer of this is shiny. That wasn't sanded good. You cannot, if something is shiny, you don't want to paint over it, because that means that paint ain't going to stick. So, until I can figure out exactly what I'm going to use on this, I don't want to get it sanded down any further because I want it protected. And I don't want to have to prime it and then scrape all the primer off and then do it again. So what I'm going to do is I got me a spray can of, let me go get it right real quick. But yeah, I think we kicked up a little dust. Oh, not going to do the weld through primer. Let's see what I do with it. Self-etching primer. That sounds like that ought to work. Now I'm just going to put a coat of this enough on the bare spots to where when I come back to sand it all down, this is going to come off fairly easy. So anywhere I've hit a bare spot, I'm going to spray. I'll set you up and time lapse this one for you. Okay, that should protect it from any flash rusting. And as I said, you know, that stuff I didn't put on a thick coat. It'll come off pretty quick and easy. So I want to look and see what, well, I may just call my paint store and talk with them, see what they've got available. I've got to get the inside of these posts cleaned up. I really didn't take a lot of time to make them look nice when I put the roof on. And now that I'm doing all this to the car, I think I want to go back over them and really dress them up. Get a good coat of paint on them, so if anybody ever takes that trim off, they're going to see just pristine bodywork. But that's just me. I may put this video out for Wednesday. If I do not, Wednesday, of course, will be an off day. You'll notice that. I'm going to try and get my laser engraver unboxed and done for Thursday, since it's Tool Thursday. But I want you to check that thing out. That's going to be a humdinger. I can't wait to get that out. Found me a door skin for the door, so all I got to do is get it ordered. But I got to get some money in the bank account before I can do that. But that is coming. Door's going to be put to the side till that comes to fruition. Pro Spot, I found out what was wrong. It's not made for this type of metal. It's made for the more modern car, 2000 up. And this metal is probably twice as thick, and it's a completely different alloy. So, Pro Spot, I'm sorry if you got any hate mail from me before that, but it's not your fault. It's mine for not understanding the assignment. But I've got that for any newer stuff that I get. But I think I can use it for the smaller spots on here. So not on this, but on this. But the sides are going to be a whole lot easier than that roof. I'm trying to get the hard stuff done first. And when I mean hard stuff, that stuff, well, going through anybody else's body work and paint work, it's all a surprise. The rest of it is factory. There is no indication that there has been any body work done to this car anywhere. There's no rust. I mean, all I got to do is get all those nibs off from where the trim was put on and get it sanded down. There's a few little minor dings in it. I'll get those worked out. And I mean, I should be able to do a quarter panel a day once I get to this point. But this roof, I got to find something. I'm going to have to get that all the way down to the metal and treat it with something to make it able to work. But I'll talk to the paint shop and see what they've got available, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope the video is clear. I noticed my camera lens is dusty. I'm sure I'll look wonderful too. But thank y'all so much for joining me. Hit the like and subscribe, and we're going to start working on a little bit longer, higher quality videos. We'll just see how it goes. I'm finally getting up early in the morning instead of working late at night. It's a lot cooler in here, but I think it's not 9:30 in the morning right now, and I'm sweating like you would not believe. But hey, summer in Oklahoma, we'll deal with it. Thank y'all so much. We'll see you next time. Santa's Workshop.